covering most of her whole body. So any injuries, especially defensive, usually occur on the arms, the legs, or in the stomach
I'm
area.
just talking more about like the traumatic thing. That
Well,
you
she
might
she
see on
was
her face that she looked like
well,
she had recently just been traumatized, essentially.
well, you know, she was
Everybody acts
screaming.
differently, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody acts differently, and she was pretty hardcore. She didn't want. She never went out and told any of her people her business.
Like
So
stoic, kind of. Like you
very
think.
stoic, very
Okay.
stoic, and I think what happened if that type of assault had gotten out, it would have caused a lot of embarrassment for certain people,
That's a key
and
point. Yeah.
that wasn't going to happen. It just wasn't going to happen.
Okay.
So,
And
you know,
so she's on the trail. She's heading back to the bus, moving fast. She's
yeah.
passing people on the trail.
Mhm.
So it is already a bit odd that she's in such a hurry that she's kind of passing all of her
Right.
classmates. I'll certainly give you that. Um, how do we get to the point where Robert Simpson gets ahead of her, to the point where he
Because
would be able to get her off the trail?
because you got to remember, one, Robert Simpson knew that area like the back of his hand. He
How
was
why is that true?
because there were several statements in one of the documents that I read that said he had been there more than once, several times.
Okay.
We already know he's a hunter, so we know he can move fast. But you got to remember, she sat down for about 5 minutes, which would have given him ample time to get around and get into a position. Now, there were a couple, and I call them rumors that they found cigarette butts and beer cans and this and that, like people were lying in wait. But the probability of knowing somebody's going to be coming